Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the channel, vinyl community, car community, whoever you are. I don't judge. I'm just glad you're here. Today on the channel, I'm sharing the best records of 2022. No, I'm not. Not really. I'm sharing the first and last, the beginning of the end. Janus, January, this two-faced god the month is named after. I shall share the last records I bought in 2022 and the first records I bought in 2023. Oh, you're going to love this. This is downtown Fremont, by the way, that I'm driving through. Seattle, Washington, little neighborhood right by the canal in between Lake Washington and the Puget Sound, connected by locks. It's me, Russ, and it's my first time stopping by the Daybreak Records in 2023. First records bought. Wonderful Fremont neighborhood. All right, everybody, it is 2022's records first. These are records I got like last year. In other words, a week ago. This is being recorded. I'll let the price tags on them too, so you can see what great deals I got. So this is I'll share this one first. Why not? This is pretty cool. So this is the James Gang's debut album. All right. That is it's a very young Mr. Joe Walsh. 1969, I believe it was. Funk 48 is on this record. Now that's not to be confused with Funk 49, which was a bigger hit. And very cool. There you go. And how much did I pay for that? $3. $3. I don't know if you can see that or not. Bless you over there, Data. It's a gatefold. Look at that. Pretty cool. And some more photos on the back. You know, I didn't really check to see what kind of shape this is in. We haven't played this yet. Ooh, this wax is in really pretty dang decent shape, actually. The Blues Way label. ABC, American Broadcasting Company. There you go. So that was cool. And then this one, this is Fog Hat, Boogie Motel, 1979. It's a pretty good Fog Hat record. It actually reminds me of a radio guy here in Seattle that just passed away really recently. Talk radio guy. I didn't agree with everything the guy said, but he was kind of a Seattle staple named Dory Monson, and he would always bring up Fog Hat, you know, like you play any Fog Hat, you know, you go to a place, a club, or you know, some guys you walk into a club and some guys play, and then you just walk up to the DJ and go, hey, you got any Fog Hat? Play on some Fog Hat. It's kind of a funny little bit he would do every so often that stuck with me. So, R.I.P. Dory Monson. This was a great find as well for how much? $3. Oh, this one was $5. So it's a little more. $5. This is Burn by Deep Purple. And a notable thing about this record is 1974 is when this guy came out, if I remember correctly. Now listen, there's a dude on here who gets his debut as a singer. It's one of the reasons it was after this record. I was like, ooh, Mr. David Coverdale. Going down the only road Yes, that David Coverdale from the legendary Whitesnake. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Makes his frontman appearance as a singer. He did a few more albums with Deep Purple. This is the first one, so kind of a debut, you know. I mean, I'm sure he played some other bands before, but this was his big dance, right, with Deep Purple, 1974. Mr. David Coverdale. Pretty cool. All right, so that's 2022. And then today, what did I get today? 2023. What did they roll out for me? So I'm a Beatles collector now, not huge, not freaking out about it.
Some of the fences hold, others do not. A minor miracle is mounted by the fact that there are no injuries spread among the near hysterical crowd. This truly is a social document for our time.
More of a Gen X type of dude. But I like the Beatles. I like some of that Can't Buy Me Love and I don't know, Helter Skelter. That's some of that kind of stuff. This is the Beatles Rarities. Picked this up in the clearance section there at the Daybreak Records, and this was $10. Pretty dang good deal. Wax is in great shape, so I was glad to see that. Maybe it's lower price because it's kind of in a MoFi sleeve, which is pretty cool. And the wax on this is in actually pretty dang good condition. So yeah, $10. Beatles rarities. You know that it's good when it's rarities. Just saying. I did not have this record. I'm a Jimi Hendrix collector. Another Seattle guy who did pretty good for himself. This is Jimi Hendrix. And we got the original soundtrack. That was $7, by the way. Rainbow Bridge. Boom. Look at that. And I just got this today. I didn't really, I looked at the wax a little bit. I always try and make sure there's not big. But for $7, I trust that they're, man, I don't see a scratch on this side anyway. Hey, this side's got like a right there, but it's not gonna skip. Might have some surface noise, but not bad at all. The Reprise label on there. And that is Mr. Jimi Hendrix. This is also a gatefold. Rainbow Bridge soundtrack right there. Jimi Hendrix. Adding to my Jimi Hendrix collection for $7. Here's another one. I already have this record, but this is a much better copy. Not just that, but this one, unlike the one we have. Look at this, Dana. It's a gatefold. Beggar's Banquet, the Rolling Stones. This is something Mazzy talked about in one of his videos about this record, and being that and I didn't think about this, but the era, the time that it was brought out, that it's a war protest record, is what it is. That's what a lot of these songs are about, the destructive, hateful, traumatizing thing that we call war amongst us human beings. Beggar's Banquet. Yeah, that song, Sympathy for the Devil. Yeah, it's not just about Satan. Satan? It's about war, man. 1968. This is when I was born, by the way. Decca Records. Okay, in the UK, and London, ironically, in the United States. So yeah, 1968, year I was born, this record was released, and that is on the London label, Stereophonic. So this was a really cool find. It's one of my favorite Stones records, is Beggar's Banquet. And some cassette tapes for 49 cents. What? So they bought a huge collection of cassette tapes. And these are in really good condition, by the way. This is the Aerosmith Classics Live. And yeah, it's got all the hits. Train Kept Rolling, Kings and Queens, Sweet Emotion, Dream On, Mama Kin. Anyway. The Best of the Young Bloods. You know, I don't know the Young Bloods that much. All I know is that one kind of hippie song. Right? That one kind of hippie song. Smile on your brother, everybody get together and try and love one another right now. That is the Youngbloods. But they got some rock and blues songs on here. I like this. This was really good. There was some really cool. And these guys put together some pretty good bluesy type of stuff. This is an album that's near and dear to my heart. I don't have the wax. I'd love to have it. This is Tesla, and yeah, Mechanical Residence is the name of this album. Came out in 1988, and some of the songs on here, and this is part of the time I was trying to get my life straight, and there's just a couple of songs on here that were really, really influential in that, in 88. Google does a thing every year on the most Googled, you know, things that people type into Google. How can I change more than they've ever searched for that string of that phrase or that string of words, right? That question, how can I change? And I thought that was pretty powerful. An interesting thermometer into culture. Google. That also came with a receipt, which is cool. Like, there's a bunch of these in this collection they bought, and then the receipts are inside the cassette tape. And this one, they got dates on them. This one's from Shepherd Stores in Yakima, Washington. Good old Yakima. And it was purchased on February 24th, 1989 at 17:55 military time. Shepherd music. So that's all I got. That's the year past and heading into the future. Buy more records. There's another YouTuber I saw out there who said that that's his New Year's resolution. I thought that was pretty cool. Pass that on. I mean, don't spend yourself into poverty. Don't make it your new addiction. I mean, this can be like cocaine, right? It can be that expensive too. So, be a collector responsibly.
The young ladies fainted, but authorities feel that some were playing possum, so that they might be lifted over the fence and thus be nearer their idols. The Beatles, who originated as a small-time act out of Liverpool, now have no rivals as the kingpins of the teenage set. You can repeat that loud and long. Some brave volunteers among the British police elect to act with heroism above and beyond the call of duty and escort the Beatles to their car. There hasn't been this much excitement at the London airport since man learned to fly. So there you have the homecoming of the Beatles, the return of the heroes to their native land. They did what the Redcoats couldn't do in the American Revolution. They conquered the colonies.